It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It was a great game. And so it's one of the first games I've played in virtual reality, so I would totally consider it something I'd want to do again.
I don't have any critiques because I have no other experience. I mean, I played maybe a couple of two-dimensional ones a long time ago, but this is the first time I've ever played the virtual reality. It was great. It was really exciting.
I think you guys did an awesome job. The first time I played it was with zombies, so it's really cool to see how it has transformed and the weapons you've added. So I think it's a really cool project.
I had a lot of fun. I really liked the teleporting, and I feel like there's like a lot of space limitations with like the virtual reality setups in people's houses, and that's like a great way to get around that.
I really like the concept and the idea of it just kind of being about trying to like shut down the robots and stuff like that. And, like more so think about like other things happening in the room that you need to do rather than just like, all right, here's an onslaught of robots. Gonna get you.
Yep. Do not get the grenade. Just use the Uzis. Those things are nuts. That's about it. Don't lose the cartridge. I did. It was a lot of fun. I liked when I got the double Uzis. That was my favorite point. I really liked the choice of the Beretta M9 too. That's always a good gun to have. Yeah, I think my favorite moment was kind of at the end when I'm being overwhelmed and I have double guns. Felt very like the Matrix. I'm just like, oh, it's going on. I got double going at the same time, and I'm shooting multiple people. I think that was my favorite moment when I feel a little overwhelmed.
You guys are fantastic. I mean, it's amazing that this crew put this together. It's very impressive.
Agent 1, my name is Zero, and I will be your lovely tour guide today.
So we started this project last semester, making a wave-based survival shooter game in VR. So last semester's was very stationary. The player usually just in one spot as the enemies kind of rush towards them. This semester we wanted to make it a lot more dynamic, allowing the player basically freedom of motion to teleport around the world. So we came up with our teleport mechanic, which allowed us to create a much larger open world for players to navigate around. We also decided this time, instead of having it be storyless and be about fear and that kind of stuff, we wanted to do a story this time. So we have a campaign mode with a few characters that the player hears and takes direction from. This allows us to make the game a little more robust and a little more memorable, so people can kind of play a role in the game as opposed to just being in an environment. So we decided over time that we wanted the systems to be a lot more robust, so we introduced a pickup mechanic. The original designs had only had a few weapons, and this time we made 3 weapons the player could pick up. We have a pistol, a shotgun, and a machine gun. And this allowed players to choose different weapons to fit their playstyle, and it made the game quite a bit more fun and interesting. One thing we had in the original game, we had zombies originally, and the game was focused a lot more on being scary and kind of claustrophobic. But this time with the story, we wanted to make it more exciting, so we thought it would be more interesting to switch to something like robots. So we focused less on the scariness factor of it and more on the adventure aspect of it. So the story itself involves the player being kind of a secret agent having to shut down an evil robot manufacturing facility. So we thought that this was a lot more interesting for the players to do rather than just have some scary monster kind of come after them. But overall, we think the project was a pretty good success, and everybody seemed to really enjoy it at the showcase. And we hope that we can do more in the future.
So my name is Austin Perrell. I worked on directing the motion capture animation as well as helping with the level design. One part I really enjoyed about this project was kind of the open world environment where players were allowed to teleport and explore more of the space than what we previously had for last semester's project. One thing I thought we could improve on was helping the player with the learning curve for VR. Since most of us have used VR, we were used to some of the systems and nuances, and seeing people play for the first time, there's definitely a bit of a learning curve in people trying to understand exactly how it works.
Hi, my name is Michaela Mangus, and I helped Andre with the coding as well as the story dialogue. One thing that I really liked about our game was
should probably
the
find that hard drive.
campaign
This place
mode
is too
slash
quiet.
or versus the stand in one spot and survive as long as you can, because it was still
This
kind of a
looks like the
survival
lab.
game,
Let's
but
see if
you
we
still
can
got that chance
lethal
to
mode.
interact with the story and
Attack target.
how far you could go through it.
Engage lethal
One
mode.
thing I do think we could improve on in the future, which is something I worked on, was the dialogue and the story. It was hard for people who couldn't hear the
This is
story
what I was
because they didn't know
programmed to do.
how to go through it or what the next objective was. So I think something to improve on would possibly to be like a little text box at the bottom with just short instructions, so that if they can't hear it, they still can see what's going on.
Hi, my name is Ryan Lee. I created 3D models and attached the animations to them. I also worked on parts of the map. I thought we utilized what makes VR unique very well, but I would have liked it if I was able to create assets from scratch and work on the
Engaging
environment more.
attack mode.
My name is Slater Olson, and I worked on the audio for our game, as well as the video editing for our documentation video. One thing I really liked about our game was the weapon pickup mechanic. It seemed that different people had different favorite weapons, and it gave each person a way to play the game the way that they liked. And then one thing I think that we could improve on in the future is having a way that the player could look at what their current objective is and look at either a HUD or some sort
Protect
of
the facility.
way that if they miss the audio cue, they know what their
Kill
objective
the
is.
intruder.
My name is Andre Mestis, and I worked in the programming for the game. One thing I really liked about the game was our new campaign mode. Last semester, we had just had the experience be stationary, where the player just sit in one spot. And this time, we allowed them to teleport around the world, so I think the campaign really gave the player motivation to want to do that and to interact with the world a lot more. One thing I think we could have improved on is the AI. I had programmed a few patrolling behaviors, but our initial designs had called for the AI to be more aggressive and for the player to be able to use more stealth tactics to get around the world. I think in the future, with more experience programming the AI, we can make those stealth mechanics more apparent and fun for the player.
Insert the hard drive into the computer and start uploading devices.
Who's behind this? Zero? I should have known you would stoop this low. This company was all I had. Guess I have to go back to doing stand-up for cruise ships. You think I'm funny, right, Jerry?